This is a YouTube advertisement for a mobile game called Whiteout Survival. You've probably seen this ad or ads just like this a million times before. But if you go to the Play Store or App Store on your phone and you download this game, you'll quickly realize that the game you see in the ad does not exist. Whiteout Survival is actually a city building game where you create an empire, level up your town hall, manage your resources and all that stuff. But the ad makes it look like something completely different. It's like they're showing you a superhero movie trailer, but when you watch the movie, it's just a documentary about economics. Even though these ads are misleading, they work really well. This game has been downloaded over 10 million times on the Google Play Store. So even though people might feel tricked, they still end up playing the game. You might be thinking, why would a company trick so many people into downloading a game that doesn't even exist as shown in the ads? Well, I can answer your question in just one word: whales. Now, when you think of whales, you might imagine the big gentle giants swimming in the ocean, or maybe you think of a country in the United Kingdom called Wales. But when mobile game developers think of whales, they think of people like him. Dago is a guy who is completely hooked on a mobile role-playing game called Fate Grand Order, made by Sony. He spends almost all his time playing this game, and by the time this video from Wall Street Journal was released, he had spent around $70,000 on the game. These whales are players who spend huge amount of money on in-game purchases. Actually, the term came from casinos, but let's not get into that. Gaming companies make a lot of money from these big spenders. So even if a lot of people feel tricked by the ads and stop playing, the whales keep spending money, making it worth the company's effort to get as many downloads as possible. It's a bit like fishing. The game ads are the bait and the company hopes to catch some big fish, whales, who will spend a lot of money on the game. This is why misleading ads are so common. They just need a few whales to make a huge profit. Now, you might be thinking, this gaming culture is only popular in the US, Japan and China. But no, India is not far behind. Last year, a boy from Hyderabad spent 36 lakh rupees in a mobile game. Can you believe that? And this isn't just a one-time thing. There are many similar cases. Indians spent roughly around 1,900 crores on mobile games in 2023. That's a huge amount. I thought, who would be so stupid to spend that kind of money on a fucking game? So out of curiosity, I downloaded one of these games, Pokémon Unite. The game was pretty simple. You're in one team of Pokémon and your goal is to head to the other side of the map and score goals against the other team of Pokémon. And it's completely free to play. But right after I finished the tutorial, a big ad popped up asking me to spend 899 rupees on something called the Unite membership. I was like, no fucking way. I kept playing, not knowing that this was just the beginning of a plan to get me to spend my money. Just 6 minutes later, another ad showed up. This time, the game offered me a bonus for logging in every day, and I could get even more bonuses with something called the Unite Battle Pass. It only costed 349 rupees and had lots of new Pokemon and other stuff. I thought this was a steal deal, so I bought it. Without realizing, I fell into the trap of price anchoring. It is a simple sales technique companies use to make you think you're getting a great deal. First, they show you something really expensive like the 899 rupees Unite membership, and when you see something cheaper like the 349 rupees battle pass, it suddenly seems like a fantastic deal even though it's still a lot of money. By showing me the expensive item first, the game made the cheaper one look more attractive. This made me want to buy it even though I didn't really need it. For the next few days, I kept getting new stuff and leveling up my Pokemon. I even got 4 different Pokemon to play with. In the start, I was winning every game I played, but then I started losing a lot. I realized that winning wasn't just about skill, it was also about how strong I could make my Pokemon before the battle. So I decided to get some special items called held items to make my Pokemon stronger. I spent a lot of my in-game coins on 3 items. One to increase my health, one for health regeneration, and one to boost my damage. damage. I thought, finally I'm ready, but I still lost badly in the game. That's when I found out that just buying these items wasn't enough. They were almost useless at first. To be competitive, I had to level them up to grade 30, which gave a huge boost, like 15% more damage. But leveling up items was really hard and slow. You needed something called the item enhancers, which were super hard to get without spending real money. I was almost forced to buy the Unite membership, which promised more item enhancers. It cost 899 rupees, and I bought it because otherwise I would have to spend weeks grinding for it. By now, I would spend more on this game than any other mobile game I have ever played. But then, I discovered something shocking. To get my 3 held items to level 30, I needed 7,761 item enhancers. That's a huge number. Even if I played every day and maxed out my battle pass, it would still take 150 days to get enough. So, I had to turn to the shop again. How much did it cost? 11,398 rupees in real money for enough item enhancers. By this point, I had spent so much time and money on the game that I felt like I couldn't stop. I had to either play more or accept that I would always be at a disadvantage. I decided to go for it, even though it was probably the most pointless purchase I have ever made. But it got even worse. Pokémon Unite has lot of different currencies, EOS gems, EOS coins, and various types of tickets. It was all so confusing and stressful. I realized that the game was designed to be this way on purpose, to make players spend more money. In the end, I figured out that if I wanted to keep playing competitively with all the characters and cool outfits, it would cost me at least 70,000 rupees for 6 months. That's a lot of money for a free game. I got frustrated and deleted the game. I started thinking how I fell into this trap and how I was being manipulated into spending more money. I realized all these companies are run by scammers and their only goal is to make you spend money. So it all starts at the first spend. You see, 98% of the people who download a game won't spend a single rupee on it. Many will quit after just a few hours. Even I started to play the game with same intention. But the moment the game gets you to spend even a tiny bit of money, it changes things. It's like breaking a wall. Once you spend that first rupee, it becomes much easier to spend more later on. This is why games like Pokémon Unite offer super cheap deals right after you start playing. Remember that bonus I talked about? It cost only 349 rupees, which is pretty small amount. The game company doesn't care much about that small amount. What they really want is to turn you from someone who plays for free into someone who spends money. Once I made my first purchase in the game, I started feeling like I needed to be better than other players. This is just the first step in what's called the hook habit hobby model. This is a strategy that the biggest games use to make lots of money. So to really make money off me, the game had to make sure I kept playing. According to the CEO of a game developing company called Tribe Flame,
people progress in a game. The hook is what gets you into the game to try out a free-to-play game. Then you build it into a habit that you play multiple sessions every day. And then at the end, it's the hobby phase where people see it as one of their main hobbies and they put lots of time and resources into it. Now, if we look at this from a monetization perspective, the hook is where you put up an icebreaker. You want to give a really, really good deal, something that's a no-brainer. You would be crazy to turn it down as a player. The reason to give a really good deal up front is by making people spend up front, they are also emotionally committing to your game, their retention will go up.
The best way to do this is by giving players instant gratification. Instant gratification means getting what you want right away without waiting. They do this by giving you rapid progression at the beginning. That means the first few levels are super quick to complete, and the first few items are very cheap, and the first few enemies are very easy to beat. This makes players feel really good and excited. Like when you pass an exam at school or get a promotion at work. When you keep winning and getting rewards quickly, it makes you feel happy and your brain starts to crave this feeling more. This makes you want to play the game every day because you enjoy the instant rewards and progress. Almost every game you see now has something called a battle pass or daily login bonus. It is a way to get you extra rewards. The game designers want you to form a habit of logging in every day to get your rewards. Once you have paid for the battle pass, you don't want to miss out on those rewards, right? And since you are already logged in, you might as well play a few games. This is called gamification. It's when apps and games use fun rewards to keep you coming back. Other apps like Cred use it too. They give you daily coin rewards habits to make sure you keep using the app every day. It's all about making the app a regular part of your routine. Once you form a habit and have spent a lots of time and money on the game, you're kind of stuck. Just like I was with Pokémon Unite. The game companies know you won't leave easily. They have your full attention, and that's when they change their strategy to keep earning money from you. Instead of just selling power-ups to make your character stronger, they start selling you convenience. This means they make the game slower and harder on purpose. So you'll want to buy things to make it fast and fun again. I find this really unfair, but it's how they keep you spending more money to keep enjoying the game. After playing one of these games for 3 weeks and learning about why these companies do what they do, here's what I realized. The more you get hooked on the game, the more money the company makes. It's not about good reviews or making players happy anymore. It's about how well they can turn a player who just wants to have fun into someone who keeps spending money, like a person with a gambling addiction. If you like this video, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video if you found it useful. Bye bye. ನೋಡಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಗ ಮುಗಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ. ಟೈಮ್ ಎಷ್ಟಾಯ್ತು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಮೇಲೆ ರಸಿ ಆಗೋದು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ತಿನ್ನಿ. ಚಳಿ ಇದೆಯೋ ಮಜ್ಜಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕುಡಿತೀನಿ. ಸಾರಿ ದಾಲ್ ಮಖನಿ ರೈಸು.